you know.
Look at that mirror finish. Look at that. Stick your face down there. Hey Royce, we haven't done a walk around on your new car yet.
That's true.
You want to do one today?
There it is.
It's
walk
ready.
Around.
It's looking pretty. It's all shiny. Here in off Camber headquarters.
AKA Eric's garage.
That's right.
His has the most lights.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
It's just decent lighting.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
There it is. So, 2021 Turbo S Dynamix. This is my third Turbo S. So I like to get a new car every year because it's kind of funny that we have an off.
Times it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's fine.
I'm not gonna act like it. I mean, I work in sales. Like,
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. So I get a new car every year. This year, basically the same car as last year. Turbo S Dynamix. I did a few things the same and a few things different. Should we just start in the front?
Yeah, I think the few things different is they're kind of big things though, even though a lot of it, some of it you can't see. So yeah, I say we start in the front because I think that's a lot of the biggest differences.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
So in the front, first thing you see, I did Zbroz suspension. I didn't have many problems on my last car with suspension, but I did bend the front arm right here. It comes with a really thin sheet gusset between the front and rear, I don't know, pillars of the lower A-arm. So I creased that in one time and I didn't want to have to deal with that again. So I upgraded that, as well as the uppers. And then I also, last time, I bent a stock tie rod, which always made me nervous that it was just going to crease in half when I came down around a dune or down a rock hard or something. So this time, not only did I do tie rods, but I did the Sandcraft steering stabilizer.
Let's see if we can show that because this is one of those items that are you don't just see it.
Yeah.
Right. So you can see right here, Sandcraft.
So essentially what it does is it relocates the where the tie rod goes in, and it takes the stress off of your steering rack. So you're kind of killing two birds with one stone there, protecting the steering rack, upgrading the stock tie rods.
So have you felt a difference with it?
Yeah, honestly, I can let go. So the first time I tried it out was at St. Anthony. I was able to let go of the steering wheel on the choppy, kind of like the, not big whoops, but regular whoops. Let go and it tracks straight.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it gave me a lot of confidence going fast into like bottom out situations. I really like it. I would do it again. It makes it a little harder to turn when you're kind of bound up in the rocks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes a little more strength to turn it sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't mind my lazy sway bar there. I never intend to hook it back up, but I don't even want to take 10 minutes to take it off because it just stays out of the way.
Yeah, that's what I do too. So, all right. So what else on the front? I see some different springs.
Yeah, springs. So we did the Zbroz springs on there as well. That's one of the first things we did. We did a full video on that. I've done a review on it. So check that out. We'll link it in the description somewhere.
Huge difference. Both Ryan and Royce have done it.
Yep. So we've done it on the Dynamix car and the Velocity car, and it made a big difference on both.
Yep.
What else in the front end? I took off these little plastic things so that it looks a little bit more aggressive.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I did that the other day.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, jeez.
And then obviously just the grill. It's
Yeah,
like
assault grill.
lipstick, doesn't do anything. Looks cool.
Nope, but it looks good.
And then here we did actually, these are, you know, they look like stock fang lights, but they're actually part of the Ryco street legal kit.
Nice.
So it's got integrated turn signals.
Yeah, that's super nice.
Yeah, I really like that instead of going in the little
those little things. Yeah, that looks so much better.
Yeah, so they do a plug and play kit. It ties in with the tail lights and the front lights.
Nice, good call.
Coming around, I've got Roxxzillas on here, 35 by 15 Roxxzillas.
Yep.
These things have about 3,000 miles on them, believe it or not.
And look at it.
So everyone told me
there's still decent tread on this thing. You can still go.
So the thing is, I intended when I bought these excuse me. Everybody told me don't get a sticky tire, it's gonna wear out. You know, it's a ton of money to waste on tires or whatever because
Right.
you're gonna have to replace them all the time.
Right, because they're
I
soft,
ride all
whatever.
the time, and I've had these for a year and a half. So I had them on my old car for almost 2,000 miles, and then on this one close to 1,000 now.
Yeah.
So I don't treat them any different than any other tire. I drive them on the street, drive them on the trail, drive them on hard pack, rock, wherever, sand, and this is what they look like after about 3,000 miles.
Yeah, it's actually pretty impressive of how well these things wear.
And I did rotate them, so I think they're probably about the same tread front and back. They've
Yeah.
probably got 300 or 400 miles before I let them give up the ghost.
Yeah.
But they're squishy.
Yep.
We'll attach some videos of us going through some stuff and see how they react on the rocks. But
Yeah.
very predictable tire. Terrible on the road. Is what it is.
Yeah. Not a road tire.
Yep. And then down here, this is something you don't see often. Dirty Life race wheels. They're big in the Jeep and buggy community.
Yeah.
They're launching side-by-side wheels, and I've been happy with these. They look really nice.
Yeah, that's a good looking wheel.
Yeah. I beat the heck out of them, so they're not as pretty as they should be, but
Well, that's just how it goes.
yep, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And then these shiny things, these are Moto Armor doors. They come in satin black. I recently had them powder coated gloss because I just, you know.
Look at that mirror finish. Look at
Yeah.
that. Stick your face down there.
Gotta do the dollar bill test.
No, it looks good. It looks better. Powdered. You know, just because your body's that gloss
Yep.
and that kind of stuff, it really ties it in well. It looks good now.
Yeah,
I like
the
it.
big thing about these doors is a lot of people ask about them because they don't have exposed screws.
Right.
So when they mount the inside part to the, I don't know how to explain it, but when they build the doors, they basically shave off the head of the bolt. So you can see it barely right here.
Yeah, you can see those
But
few little spots.
It's really clean compared to most of the door options you see.
Yeah.
Down here I've got the Triple S, the SSS Offroad skid plate. So on this one I did a prototype one to give some feedback. They actually made it a 2-piece instead of their traditional 1-piece. So
Right.
it looks a little bit different here. Doesn't affect the performance at all. So the one thing about the SSS Offroad is it comes up and around, where when you're in a tight situation, you kind of have to pivot off your skid plate
Yeah.
instead of tearing up this piece of plastic, which I've done before. That protects all of that.
Yeah, so built-in rock slider right there. Okay, that happens all the time. We
I
do
wouldn't
it. We
get a
do that
skid
all the
plate
time.
without that.
No.
It's not worth the, in my opinion, it's not worth the investment of getting an aftermarket skid plate if you're not going to do that last little bit to
Right.
protect that. So
It's
there are-
only a little bit extra to do it. You might as well do it.
and I prefer, there are other companies that offer aluminum ones or steel ones.
Oh yeah,
This is going to slide better.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. One of the other things that I did differently on this car that I didn't do last time that I regretted is I went with high clearance trailing arms. These
Yeah.
are Zbroz high clearance trailing arms.
Yeah. So let's see. Give you a nice look of the overall bottom profile here, and you can see it's basically just straight from front to back.
Yeah, so you're basically going from skid plate to tire. I
Yeah.
hardly ever hit this unless there's like a weird shaped boulder sticking out of the ground.
Yeah, we see it all the time between you and Ryan.
Right.
Ryan will get held up, and then all of a sudden you're just rolling right over it, hitting the tire first.
Right, and I've said this before, but the only time I've ever tipped over, I blame the trailing arms. It was probably a little bit driver. But I was hung up, I was coming over the sledge and I was hung up on this side and I had to really gas it. I don't know what you said, but I had to really gas it and that stuck there and I had to give it so much gas that I had to, you know.
No, it is true. I don't know if we want to throw that video in there and you can kind of see, but you can see it on our 777s video of kind of how that happened to us or to him. And no, he's right. That's a big part of why that happened.
Yeah. And
So
the thing that made me, after that I was like, I'm getting them because I followed 2 guys up the same exact line that had high clearance.
yeah,
And
and they didn't have that issue at all.
I'm like, why am I getting stuck? And
All right.
I watched the video and found out.
Let's roll around to the back. We've got some really cool stuff on the back. It's a little
Couple
different.
things real quick. This actually comes gray. So I
Oh,
had it wrapped.
gotcha.
So I had the hood wrapped black, had this wrapped black, and I had this wrapped black. So
Nice.
those were all like graphite gray.
I like that.
I guess we should talk about the cage too. So this is an off-camber edition cage, made, fabricated by Voodoo, designed by us. So we do these in limited runs and actually sell them.
Yeah. So you can hit us up.
Tinted windshield.
You can hit us up for those. It can come with a windshield. So email us at offcamberind@gmail.com. That's the best way to ask us about cages. But this will fit the Turbo S, what, XP 1000?
1000, turbo, they're all the same.
Oh, the turbo, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, it just won't fit the Pro.
Right.
Yeah.
So before I forget, we have 2 different windshield options on these. I liked a little bit of air coming through. You can also get one that comes all the way down that has a vent right here.
Oh, okay.
So we offer both of those. It's all made from 120 wall. Most aftermarket cages are like 0.95, 0.95.
Yeah.
And the stock one's like 0.06. So it's like double the wall thickness of stock.
Yep.
Okay, around the back, more Zbroz. So these are the Intense Series radius rods.
These are the coolest radius rods I've ever seen. They look
so good.
Yeah.
One thing I like about them is they're adjustable too. So if you need
are they?
adjust the camber or whatever, you can do that.
Oh, that's awesome.
This, we had a few of these made by Inclusive Manufacturing.
Yeah.
Just a little extra sauce back here. This is stronger than the stock one.
It looks good.
So if you want one of those, we might be able to get you one. Send us a message.
Yeah.
Up here, got a GGB muffler. It's the trail muffler. So I really like it. I had the same one on my last RZR.
Yeah, it looks good.
Up here, I've got this cooler rack, and let me move this actually. I've got the Dirtbag brand's Toolbox, Beadlock box, and then I've got, it's all dirty, but I put that in there for a few reasons. One, I cracked this because I hit a jump and my toolbox wasn't tied down, and I came up and like crashed and cracked that.
Maybe you should tie it down every once in a while.
Yeah. Good thing is with my new springs, I don't even tie that down.
And it doesn't go anywhere.
I can jump, I can do whatever, it doesn't even come out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
One thing we skipped over is these Walker Evans sway bar lights.
That's
the newest edition here.
I mean, that's a week old, right?
Yep, I wanted to do that for a long time, and every time I impulsively went to buy some, they were sold out.
There you go. Finally found it.
Stopped by the HCR booth at one of these events, and they had a set sitting there, and
had to do it.
had to do it.
So we'll probably do a video. I don't know if we'll do a full video, or we'll do some sort of review on those a little bit later as he gets a little more miles on it.
So I want to compare this, mostly just like an articulation or flex test, this versus like Ryan's with the stock ones on there.
So we'll try to like lift the tires up and kind of see how they do versus stock.
Long story short, it made it smoother because they're able to act more independently on like the choppy stuff, and then it gives you a little more flex so your tires don't come off the ground as often.
Yeah.
This is an Axia Alloys fire extinguisher mount.
Yeah, it's a good looking mount.
Clean stuff. They make really good stuff. If I did it again, I would probably have what you have. What's the element?
Oh, the little element fire thing, the little red one.
Keep it over my head. I don't like, it makes me nervous if there ever was a fire that I'd get back here fast enough and then put it out to save my kids.
Having access to that super quick is pretty nice.
I would like to have it over my head, and that's probably a little too big. But it's a really nice mount. Really easy to pull out. It's all O-ring, so it doesn't rattle. Good stuff. Coming right on. We skipped over the mirrors. Those are Moto Armor mirrors. Really cool. My favorite part is that they stick out farther. So a lot of mirrors will start right here, which doesn't work on a RZR, at least a 4-seater, because this bar sticks out so far.
B-pillar there, So
really
it just
nice
gives you the extra room.
Yeah, and then this is a really thin, don't look, I'm missing a screw. Just kidding. Anyway, this is a really thin mount that will fit under any windshield.
So it can go under the windshield,
These are Raycore Pod Lights, a company based out of Utah. Very bright, they're like 4,500 lumens per pod.
Yeah, those things are pretty bright, and it's like super beefy.
Yeah, very beefy. If you held it in your hand, you would know it's good, tough stuff.
Yeah.
I think that probably wraps up the outside
Should we go to the inside?
Yeah, you come over here, I'll go over there.
Right. Just in case, if you haven't seen the inside of these Moto Armor doors, this kind of what it looks like, and then the screws are on top. And that's how you get that smooth look on the outside.
Yeah, a couple things on the doors. They are pre-drilled for like PRP door bags. So if you have those will fit.
Oh, like different.
And then that weird square outline in the middle. Since this model comes with door speakers on the stock doors, that's a template for a cutout if you wanted to add your stock speakers.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, nice.
So I run headsets all the time, so I did away with all the speakers and sold them.
Yeah.
I just had these doors powder coated, so I haven't installed my other bag over there, but these are Bombshell gear door bags. So it's a MOLLE system where you can attach different pouches and compartments to it. It's nice to keep things a little bit more organized.
Yeah.
Got my rigid flashlight here.
Dude.
Got
8,000 lumen flashlight.
Super bright. Very nice.
All right,
so
next thing inside.
Yep. We already covered the Ryco Street Legal. Comes with a turn indicator here.
Yep.
We've got the rugged radios. So I've got the intercom and the digital radio. And then I've got the behind the head headsets. So they make an over the head or behind the head. I went with behind the head because the few times that I've ever been to California, you have to wear a helmet. And so this will still work with a half helmet.
Yeah.
They also make inside helmet kits that we have.
Yeah.
What else in here? Before I forget, down here I've got what's called the spring brake thingy.
Oh, the brake thing?
Yeah, so basically what it does, let me sit in here. I can push it in, can you see that?
I think we've got it, yeah.
And then I push it over with my foot and then it's locked.
Yep.
So if I'm trailering, I'll do that. If I'm parked on a ledge or near an edge somewhere, I'll do that. We were in Moab one time on...
How do you undo it?
You just push it.
Yep.
It pops out.
Nice.
That's why it's a spring brake thing. It's spring loaded.
Yeah.
So we were in Moab one time, and one of my buddies put his car in park, and then he was spotting someone, and it started rolling toward the edge.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So
Oh, jeez.
that scared me a little bit.
Yeah.
So those are cool. I would definitely recommend that. I would not recommend the cheap Chinese version off of eBay.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. You have to reach down there with your hand, and the thing always falls off. So.
Right.
You've probably seen that.
Yeah, let's show that off. You've seen our
Viper.
videos, you've seen it already, but
Yep. This is made by Viper Machine here in Utah. Gated shifter. So what that means is there's different, I don't even know how to explain it, but different compartments for different gears. So the benefit here is when I'm in low gear and I need reverse, instead of guessing where it is in that straight line and watching my indicators, if I need reverse quick, I can just slam it.
real quick, yeah.
Back to low, back to reverse. And then if I need high, it's there. If I need park. So I'm never accidentally going into park or accidentally hitting neutral when I really need that gear that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So very, very critical in a two-seater with a shorter wheelbase where flipping over backwards is more of a risk. And this, it's not a huge risk, but it's still nice to have that when we get a little bit wild.
Yeah.
The seats, these seats are made by Amped Offroad here in Utah as well. Very comfortable. We've been very pleased with them. So Ryan and I both run these seats. They've got the removable pads here for cleaning. You can put a 5th point in the harness there. But they're a little bit wider up here and they snug you down here.
They're a pretty comfortable seat.
Yeah, that's one thing we really liked about them is they seem to fit a little bit bigger guys. They're a little bit taller than most aftermarket seats as well.
Yep.
Moto Armor harnesses, they've got the auto latch style. I'm not a fan of the Polaris Sub-Zero ones. It's just a preference thing. They're plenty good, plenty strong. I like the auto style, or the automotive style latch.
I like the
And I like
automotive
it down
also.
here.
Yeah.
And on the stock ones, it seemed like they were always kind of
Almost like in your
right
belly.
here.
Yeah.
And even if you adjusted them, it was just always kind of weird.
I agree.
I would like a retractable one. That's the one, probably the one thing I'm jealous of a Can-Am owner for, is they have the retractable. And I know Polaris sells the click ones, but anyway. And going up here,
Oh, yeah.
we did this, it's the same stuff that would be on like a nice surf deck boat.
Yeah, so if you look it up on Amazon, probably the easiest way is it's like faux teak.
No idea.
Something like that.
I'll put a link in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's basically the stuff you put in boats.
Yeah,
but,
it's basically like the deck on a boat.
Yeah, it's made it so that it's not squeaky at all with the roof.
So a lot of time with an aftermarket cage where these tabs meet the actual roof, you'll get a lot of squeaks after the first ride. And so this quiets all that down. It's about probably a 1/4 inch thick. And it's a peel and stick. It's a giant sticker. So we actually had to do 2. So there's a seam in the middle.
Right in the middle.
It's only like 2.5 feet wide or 3 feet wide, so it didn't
stretch the whole thing.
So we did the seam right down the middle. I just ordered 2 rolls, peel and stick, trim it with a razor blade around the edges,
and you're done.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, it does look
Quiets
good.
it down too. Back here, I'll start with this. We've got the Pro Eagle Phoenix DS.
This is new. We ordered a few things from Pro Eagle.
Yep.
So we've got that, and let me show them real quick because it's holding up the general. We got the 3-ton jack working there.
Yeah, so these are off-road specific jacks. So this one, for example, it only weighs under 6 pounds, which is crazy. Comes with roll bar mounts. Well, it doesn't come with them. You have to order them, or you can just throw it in your toolbox.
Yep.
It uses CO2 cartridges, so you put it in there and it's going to jack up to 2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
This model is a little bit shorter, which I preferred in case there wasn't a ton of room to get a jack under on the trail.
Depending on how you're sitting.
Yeah, exactly. So I think overall it's probably 8 inches or so, or somewhere around there. But it'll go up to 1 foot 5 inches, so 17 inches.
Yeah. I'm excited to have that with us.
So that should be able to get any of my 4 tires off the ground
at
essentially any point.
Yeah.
On a long travel car, there is another option where if you needed to get both tires off the ground, like in the front, with long travel, you'll want the other one because it lifts up to 2 feet.
Do we know the difference?
This is the Phoenix DS.
Uh-huh.
I need to tighten that.
Whoop, yep.
I just put it in last night. And then the other one is the Phoenix. Yeah, just the Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
And then these are custom-made kid seats by Neri Seats out of California. So I don't even know if they have a website. I found them on Instagram. I've been very, very pleased with the quality. My kids like them a lot more. The thing that makes them different over standard booster seats that you'll see is these ones don't sit on top of the other seats.
Yeah, so it's a seat in and of itself.
Yeah.
You don't strap it to the other seat.
Yeah, so it's got its own like 8-inch platform that attaches to the seat base. 6 or 8 inches, something like that.
Yeah.
So it attaches to the stock seat base. It's very, I don't know, what's the word? Conforming. But it holds them in very well. You can see how far out it comes.
Yeah, so it just fits them well, and it makes it so that it's, I mean, about as safe as you can get for a kid's seat right there.
And it does recline them a little bit more too, so their head's not like not fighting that head bob with their little weak necks.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's, I mean, it's making it so they're whining less, basically.
They're enjoying it a lot more with these, I'll tell you that much. I think that probably wraps it up as far as what I've done so far. I think I'm done, right? Always done.
Yeah.
No, I am gonna add some rigid lights here coming soon. So I'm gonna do some rock lights, some more just lighting overall.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think that wraps it up. I've been very pleased with this. I do have some MV whips, so lighted whips. I've got those. I haven't wired them up because I'm gonna do a switch panel up front.
Yeah. So the MB whips are cool. We put some different ones on the general, but the MB whips are cool because the power is in the base, which is, again, my favorite feature of MB whips.
Yep.
That way you're not plugging things in and out. You just basically take it off, it turns off, you put it on, it turns on.
So the actual wire runs right up through here. And
Yeah.
to actually attach the whip and detach the whip, you just pull it off and don't worry about the wires.
Yeah.
And it's interchangeable with the day whips. So like just the standard flag poles that I have in here, I can stick on versus the LED whips for nighttime.
Yeah. All right, so from your last one to this one, you've made quite a few different things. So in the last
thing we didn't talk about.
Oh, okay.
Pause. Gear reduction. We did a gear reduction in here. On the overall gear, we went 12% lower, which does high, low, and reverse.
Yeah.
and then we went an additional about 20%, give or take, in low.
So overall low, you're about 30 to 33%, something like that. Okay.
Which, when I went up in tire size, I'm about 10% bigger on the tires, so that 12% lower that we did in high was basically a wash when I upped the tire size.
Gotcha.
So that kept essentially the stock ratio of gears, but in low, I'm probably 20% lower than your standard Turbo S on 32s.
Yeah.
Which is necessary if you're gonna run these big tires.
Absolutely.
I've never broken a belt.
Which is crazy. I mean, so there's multiple factors in breaking a belt.
Yeah.
But for you not to do it is actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, so I've replaced belts, don't get me wrong, I replace them every 1,000 miles regardless.
Sure.
And I've smoked a few, but I've never broken one or needed to change it to get off the trail.
Yeah.
So the gear reduction, I would highly, highly recommend that.
Yeah.
Running any kind of big tires.
Anytime you see a video of ours, we're always saying that, so.
It makes a huge difference.
Yep. All right, so in the last video we did of your red car, you know, we basically went over and said, hey, what would you do differently? One of the main one was springs.
Yep.
I think on the last car you probably wanted to do the Sandcraft steering stabilizer, and so you've done that on this one. Is there anything that you haven't done that you do want to do?
No, as you mentioned, the biggest things were I had broken front suspension, tie rods need to be replaced. I addressed both of those. I wanted springs, did springs on this one, and then I wanted high clearance suspension in the rear. So I did all that. I would say I built this car exactly how I wanted it.
Yeah, and it performs.
I've really liked it.
Yeah, I would say it performs great.
It's dialed in.
Yeah.
If I was more of a dune guy, I would do some kind of small tune, something that's going to keep it reliable. But yeah, I can go up every hill at any dunes I've been to so far.
So I mean, as you guys have seen from our videos, Royce is a very capable driver. His machine is very capable. But honestly, just in the last little while, even though he's very seasoned and knows what he's doing, I can see his confidence in his car like go through the roof. And I think a lot of that has to do with how his current setup is now, even compared to what he did last time.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty comfy in there.
Yeah.
Eric was riding with me the other day. We went up this nasty thing and we're tipped on the side like this, just crawling around. He's like, "You're getting pretty comfortable."
That's exactly what I said. And he's just filling it out. It was something we'd never done before. We were filling it out, and he's just going up it like it was no big deal.
Yeah.
So
I really like this car.
Yeah.
I do have a new Polaris on order. We're gonna see which one I like more and keep that one.
All right.
But yeah, I
Which one do you have on order?
no.
Dude, tell the people.
They'll find out.
All right.
Yeah, I've been very pleased with it. Turbo S is an excellent platform.
Yeah, agreed. I think especially right now, I mean, we've probably said it multiple times, but overall, probably the best car.
I think it's the king for the overall.
Yeah.
If you're considering rocks, dunes, everything.
Right. It can just kind of do everything really well.
The looks,
Right.
all of it. Yeah.
And obviously you tune this, I mean, with the gear reduction and things, you know, 90% rock crawl. So it is what it is, but you throw the SS360 sand tires on there and it's super fun in the dunes too.
Right.
Goes anywhere. It's super awesome. So,
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Anyway, if this is your first time on the channel, go ahead and subscribe. We do a lot of content out here at Sand Hollow. We plan to go more places as the channel grows. So help us grow.
Yeah. Thanks guys.